Hi there, Jules here, the business RMT. I'm here with Roman Raskin, who is my accountant. Super grateful to have him as part of my business team. And Roman is here to tell us a little bit about who he is and his webinar. Roman, thank you so much for being with me here today.
Thank you for having me, Jules. So a little bit about myself, as Julie said, I'm her accountant, but also a little bit more. Hopefully, ask her some business questions, discussing the future, and hopefully it's going to be a great future for everyone in the business world. A little bit about myself. I have been in the business for about 18 years now. I have quite a bit healthcare professional practice that stems with RMTs, physiotherapists, chiropractors, doctors, dentists. So the healthcare is a very familiar industry for myself. I have a number of close friends and family members who are in the healthcare industry as well. So it's a very familiar area for me. A little bit about myself. As I said, I've been doing this for 18 years, and I have clients that ranged with all type of questions. And a lot of the questions that come to them, that they come to me for, are questions that they're scared to ask. My biggest advice is you gotta know the questions you gotta ask in order to ask that question. And I think this is the biggest challenge that a lot of people have, and when they're coming to their accountants with questions, they don't know the right question to ask. At the completion of this little webinar, I'm actually hoping to empower everyone and allow you to ask the right question, because without asking the right questions, you can't really get the right answer. For example, people come to me very often and say, I'm looking for an accountant. My first question to them, what are you looking for? And this seems to stun a lot of people, and they actually don't know what they're looking for. Yeah. And then you gotta start with me having experience with a lot of younger and older clients. I'm able to drive this conversation with them and lead them to the right area that they're looking for. Not everybody's able to do that. It's a very difficult process because you have to identify what your client is looking for. Very similar in RMT industry, when a patient comes to you and asks you for a massage, they don't come to you and say, oh, I need a massage. First question is, well, what kind of massage? What do you want me to massage? Then on the table says, I'm ready. And that's very similar when you're approaching an accountant.
Yeah.
You really have to know what you're looking for and the area that you need assistance with.
I remember when one of our first conversations we had, and you asked me about, we were talking about building my personal wealth as well, and that was the first time that I've had that question or that conversation with an accountant, because the accountants that I've dealt with before just like did my taxes, and I brought them my papers, and then they would tell me how much money I owed and taxes and HST, and that to me was such an important question, because I had never even conceptualized how to invest not only in my business but also in my own personal wealth while being a clinic owner and navigating this world as an RMT. So that was one of the things that I really appreciated about you, is that you also have knowledge and an interest in my personal wealth as a massage therapist. What do you think would be, like, on average, when you're working with independent contractors, do you feel like most of them take their personal wealth into consideration?
I think they do. I think the challenge that they're having when they're approaching the accountant, they don't ask the right question.
Yeah.
One of the questions that I always ask is, and it leads to a discussion where they want to be an independent contractor or an incorporated business, is what is their long-term, what is their 5 and 10-year goal? Are they looking to work for somebody else the entire 10 years? Are they looking to potentially transition to their own practice? Are they looking, what are they looking to get out of it? Is it a simple job where they want to make minimal and they want to enjoy their lives by traveling and so on? So all of this comes into the play of building wealth. There is different types of accountants, and I think the very important part is to have this discussion, is going back, is to be able to ask the right question. Some accountants, they understand the flow of money, they understand your need, and they take the time to interview you at the beginning and ask the question is, what are you looking for? A lot of times when you're approaching an accountant at their peak season, which is February, March, and April, unfortunately, because our business is so seasonal, they won't always have time to have this discussion with you. My great plan is when you are looking for an accountant, is you really want to approach before your taxes are due and not after your taxes are due. And that's, I think, the key, because that'll give them time and you time to decide what exactly you're looking for and have this discussion with them.
Right. So I guess like end of the year, right? Like the fourth quarter would be a good time to perhaps have conversations with a few potential accountants to see if you're a good fit so that you can transition into the following tax year with that particular person.
I would actually say sooner than that, probably in the second quarter.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think the best time to approach any accountant would be May, June, July, and August.
Okay. I stand
Because
corrected.
this is their slowest time. Although they're all on vacation that entire month, getting them would be the easiest way to get that.
Yeah. If you had one tip, you talked a lot about, like, essentially what you're saying is communication is the key to finding a good accountant, and preparing perhaps a list of questions to
I
ask.
think preparing yourself,
Mm.
communication is definitely key, and preparing yourself is very important. What I think a successful relationship between a client and their accountant is not just seeing them when your taxes are due, but communicating with them during the year and figuring out what is it that you need to do in order to have, proper tax planning, proper financial planning, and meeting your goals that you need.
That's great. Thank you so much, Roman. Really looking forward to your webinar in September. I believe it is, let me check here. It is September 29th. If you can share with us your website, that would be great too.
Oh, yes, that's true. So my website is actually easy. It's a bit tricky. It's raskinca.com. It's raskinca.com. A lot of people confuse it as raskin.ca. The reason why I did that is because I'm a chartered accountant and all the other websites were taken. So.
Oh, there you go. Great. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Jules.